cooperate, have less. When I was in Xinjiang, at the time I was working with Grand Canyon University, and we were setting up which is a Baptist university in Phoenix, Arizona, and we were going to set up a graduate school in Northwest China, in Urumqi. And the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Minister of Education, and I were meeting, and he said, well, if you all want to put a Baptist church, on this campus, that's fine, as long as you let us have the Communist Party office on the campus too. This was in 1987, 88, before Tiananmen. But that's the kind. If you work with that system, they're open to anything. But if they feel like they're a threat to the system, this is old knowledge. I think it's still somewhat works the same. Since then, by the way, I've become Catholic, and I've exercised my religious freedom, and many of my Baptist friends consider that no longer Christian. So religious freedom is a personal, it's personal, and you may have seen a report from Pew that came out this week that about half of Americans change their religious affiliation, during their lifetime, and they often do it more than once. I'm in that category as a Methodist and Baptist and Catholic. The religious freedom. Now, the Yang. This is from the More Religion Database. It's a project that Todd Johnson and I do at Boston University. And people, what this is there's a lot of religion in China. The numbers, at least we took a stab. Let's see if we there is a pointer. Anybody know how to make a pointer? Well, I'll just do. You can see the Christians. We took a stand saying there's about 7.8% of China are Christians. And if you look at the survey that was mentioned, about 8% recognize God, Jesus. And a lot of, maybe in surveys, a lot of people who would be Christians refuse to participate in the survey. So at least that's the estimate. It's not on the high end. It's not 10 or 11 or 12%. It's not on the low end, 3 or 4%. So we're sort of in the middle. So in this database, we covered 238 countries. Again, China is just one of the ones we focus on. But looking at the different surveys, the census, which we pull the numbers from, Muslim the numbers from, and other reports, we come up with this. Whether these numbers are right, we just keep working on them until we can get the best numbers. But this is a picture where atheists are a small percentage of China. Agnostics are the biggest religious group in China, but there's a whole lot of others. And as a religious demographer looks at this, there's a lot of room for growth of any religion, especially into the agnostic category. So, if Christianity keeps growing, even if it would double in size, it would be the largest Christian country in the world. And Christianity today, double, triple, be one of the largest country, the country with the most number of Christians today in the United States.
What's an ethno-religionist?
An ethno-religionist would be folk religions, I guess.
I guess maybe like Dongba,
Yes.
among the
Some
Nachi people.
Tibetan? No, they're Buddhist.
No, that would be Buddhist.
Like,
There are groups that, in which ethnic identity is a language and you're born into it, and those are all tied up with the religion. So it's the Native American religions or ethno-religions.
Yeah, so I wanted to acknowledge the research. I'm going to go through some of the research and the numbers that I use. I'm very do a lot of numbers, and I thought I'd give some background on how I get to those numbers on religious freedom. So the research was funded by the Templeton Foundation, originally to a grant to Penn State's Association of Religion Data Archives. And I'm continuing at the Pew Research Center, but the things that I'm saying don't represent either organization. So religious freedom, the definition I use is from the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. That says everyone has the right to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. This includes freedom to change his or her religion or belief from observance. In China, it's not a big deal to change your religion. In most of the Muslim world, that is the issue. Information sources that I use in trying to count measure the level of religious freedom in countries. These are the different reports that I look at, and I catalog about 200 countries from these various sources. The methodology that I use double-blind coding of all those information sources, and then my coders read them and answer a series of questions, and I'll give you some examples. We verify all the discrepancies between the coders, and then we build some indexes from the coded data so we can compare one country with another. The data, unlike those who go out to the field, we read, this is a file drawer that's about this long, and all of those are the reports that were shown in that data slide. And I have a team of 4 coders every year, and they read all of this. And they, covering 200 countries, these various reports, and then they write scores on a number of 100 questions for each country. And then in the end, then they enter it in an SPSS data file, and in the end, there's no duplicates here. These are all file drawers with our finished coding books and the sources that we've looked at for each country. So that's our data. We do a lot of quantitative coding and qualitative data. Primarily. The types of measures that we look at on trying to measure religious freedom are legal policy restrictions. We ask 5 questions related to that. Restrictions of religious speech and expression. We ask 8 questions, code 8 questions for each country. Restrictions of religious affiliation and practice, 7 questions. Government involvement in religion or government favoritism of religion, we ask 13 questions. Government force used towards religion, we ask 12 questions. And then religious hostilities in society, we have 14 questions. In the religious hostilities section, we sometimes call that religious social regulation of religion. It's another term used for that. Just to give a sense of the kinds of questions, I'll look at restrictions on religious affiliation. One of the general question is, does the government prohibit conversion or otherwise restrict affiliation by such means as registration requirements and fines? And we have 7 different questions that relate to that topic. And just an example of that question is, does any level of government ask religions to register for any reason? So we find across the world, the majority of countries, 9 in 10 countries, require religions, ask religions to register for one reason or another. In almost 6 in 10 countries, it presents problems